to introduce this year's guest speaker. He is also an ACE graduate, Mr. Toren Colin. Toren was born and raised here in Atlanta, Georgia. His interest in aviation began as an 8th grader at a career fair where he heard a pilot speak about flying as a career. He began to join different flight programs such as Civil Air Patrol, Organization of Black Aerospace Professionals, and Aviation Career Enrichment to further his education in the aviation field. At the age of 16, he made his first solo flight in a Diamond 20 at OBAP Summer Flight Line Academy. He would later earn his private pilot's license with ACE and received his instrument, commercial, and multi-engine ratings while enrolled at Middle Georgia State University. This is where he is currently pursuing a bachelor's degree in aviation business and holds a 3.5 grade point average while also being named on the Dean's list. Toren is now a certified flight instructor with Middle Georgia State University and a volunteer ground instructor here at ACE. With just under 1,000 hours of flight time, he is actively pursuing a career as an airline pilot. Please help me and give a warm welcome to this year's guest speaker, Mr. Toren Colin.
Got to get set up real quick. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm amazed to be speaking right now. It's a great honor. Thank you to ACE. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to everyone who volunteered me to speak. I really appreciate it, and it's an honor. Kids, today I'm gonna be talking to you guys. This is really for y'all, okay? So I really want y'all to pay attention, try to learn something from it, okay? What part of the aircraft is this? The fuselage, right? So what goes in the fuselage? Say it. Passengers, cargo, but what else? Fuel goes in the wings, but yeah. Right? The pilot. Okay? This fuselage, yeah, is the most important part of the aircraft, maybe. It holds passengers, flight attendants, pilots. It holds dreams. It holds memories. And that's one of the most important things that an aircraft has, right? But right now, could this aircraft take off? And why is that? Right? It needs more stuff than just this to take off, right? Okay? All right? All right, so what is this? What would this be? And they don't have wheels for this aircraft, so let's just simulate this is the wheels, right? All right? You need some type of base, correct? For your aircraft to sit on the move, right? All right, you need some type of base for your aircraft to sit on, correct? Let that be God in your life, all right? The foundation, everything that you go to, everything that you believe in, it should always start with God, all right? Times are gonna get hard. Graduates, you're about to go to college. Y'all are about to experience a whole different world, but know that that world starts with God, all right? It's important to keep your faith. Just this week, my car was giving me problems. I wasn't able to get the key out, and I was like, I won't be able to make my speech at this weekend. I did some praying, and just let me know. I'm gonna just let you know, God is good. God is good. All the time. All the time, God is good. See, when you start your career, you can't just be praying to God when times get bad. You have to pray to God when times are good as well, okay? It starts with just a small prayer, but it always continues with your faith in God, okay? With that, God is good.
All the time.
I said God is good.
All the time.
And all the time.
God is good.
What are these? All right, and what do wings do for an aircraft? Say it again. They provide lift, right? Who else provides lift in your life? Jesus, but who? Somebody said it. Say it again. Your parents, yes. Your parents provide the lift that you need in your life. Your family, the connection they have to you, they want to guide you to be the greatest you can be. Okay? Trust me when I say, if they say stay away from a certain person, if they say you need to be doing this, it's probably for a good reason.
That's right.
You're a product of your parents. Your parents only want to see you succeed, and if that means they may not want you to go out on a Saturday, it's probably for a good reason. It took me it took me a while to realize that my parents want nothing but the best for me in everything I do. That's why I'm here today. Okay? The friends that you have around you are the friends that make you who you are. All right? Just realize not everybody that you hang around with are going to want to be pilots, and that's okay. That's fine. But what's important is that you always keep in mind who you have around you. I've gained a lot of friends here at ACE. I have my personal friends outside of the aviation career, and it's important. It really, really, really is important that you start to find yourself and make sure that if you see that they're leading you in a direction that you do not want to go in your life, that you turn away from them, and that's all right. So families, your family, your friends, everybody, but also here at ACE. Like I said, I have my ACE family here. There's a bunch of people that's going to come through your life and lift you up or drag you down, and that's important because wings, they don't just generate lift, they also induce drag. Okay? All right. Now this one might get a little difficult. What is this? What are these? These are engines, right? Okay? And what do those do for an aircraft? They provide thrust, right? These keep the aircraft going forward and keep it up in the air when it needs to be up in the air, right? It keeps it moving. Discipline. Hard work, discipline, self-discipline. This is what you need. Webster Dictionary states that discipline is the practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behaviors, using punishment to correct disobedience. It also states that discipline means a branch of knowledge typically one studied in a higher education. Graduates, y'all about to go to college. There is not going to be a 7 a.m. every day of, there's not going to be a 7 a.m. class every day. It's going to be, you have an 8 a.m. 2 days out the week. And when I tell you that's way, way, way harder than a 7 a.m. every day. Discipline is what's going to make you the best thing you can be. Okay? That's what's going to push you forward. Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself to keep moving and to keep sticking with whatever you have in mind, okay? These engines, if they give out, what's going to happen to the aircraft? It's going to start to glide. It's not going to crash. It still has the lift in its life. It still has, you'll still have your family, but if you don't have that discipline, you'll never be able to go forward in life, okay? I have one challenge for you all, especially the college graduates. When y'all wake up and get ready for your classes every day, I want you to make your beds. And I'm not trying to sound like your parents, okay? I'm not trying to sound like, there's a poll that there's a survey that happened with a company called One Poll, and they surveyed 2,000 people, and they said people who make up their beds, 1, can stick to a better schedule, 2, they can wake up easier, and 3, they're always able to stick with whatever they're doing. And that I promise you, if you set a goal, make up my bed every day, as long as if nothing else in the day goes right, you can come back to a well-made bed and to go to sleep and hope for a better day.
Amen. That's right.
Okay? Me as a flight instructor, I have a rule. I have a 5, 25, 100 rule. I don't know if anybody, I'm pretty sure nobody would know about it, but it's 5 hours a day. I always try to shoot for 5 hours every day. Every week, I try to get 25 hours, and every month, I try to get 100 hours. 5, 25, 100. Okay? Some instructors, they ask me, Toren, how do you do it? How are you always waking up at 7 a.m. and getting done? How are you always, always here so happy and ready to fly? I'm like, the clock is ticking. I'm rocking and rolling, man. I mean, it's a goal I'm trying to hit for the day, and if I haven't hit that goal, I better try tomorrow. Discipline is what it takes. Only in the dictionary does success come before work, okay? You have to work for what you want. You have to get up, you have to strive for what you want, and you have to stick with it. All right? Continuing on with the speech, this next part doesn't really have a part on the aircraft. Can anybody guess what it is? Air, yeah. Which is problems, right? Problems, failures, okay? Failure comes in life, and that's okay. Either you get back up or you let it knock you down and you stay down. All right? Failures are what makes or what breaks you. Walt Disney applied for an animation job, and they said, yeah, you weren't fit, you didn't like the imagination and the good ideas. Oprah Winfrey, she got fired from her first TV job because she was unfit for television, and Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team because he just wasn't good enough. They cut him from his basketball team, but today he's still known as the second greatest player behind LeBron James. Okay? He's still known, right? We can talk about any of these people today because they failed, right? If you look around here, look around. I want you guys to look around. Everybody has some type of failure. Pilots, now, mind you, not all of us have, check ride failures or something like that, but we've all failed in our lives, and that's okay. You just have to be able to keep moving and get back up, right? You have to be able to keep moving, keep your head up, and understand that's a part of life. Last week was a struggle, especially dealing with my car, and it was just like, either I'm gonna let that knock me down or it's gonna motivate me, Denzel Washington, I was reading a couple of his books, I've watched one of his videos, and one thing he always said was, if you're not trying hard enough, if you don't fail, that means you're not trying hard enough. If you're always looking for the easy way out, that means you'll never challenge yourself to what you're really able to do. Mistakes happen, and that's fine. Learn from them. The next part, we do have a part for the playing field. What is this? The tail, right? The vertical stabilizer. The vertical stabilizer, right? This goes on the aircraft as well. Now, so far we've been talking about, the good, the bad, but the next thing is just being okay with being okay, being content. You have to have some type of guidance to guide you in your career and throughout your life. You have to have some way that you're looking and you're able to find some way to get through it. If you don't have the willpower, the discipline, I promise you, you'll just be content with whatever you want to be. And if that's just wanting to be a pilot, that's fine, but I want all of you to strive to be more than just a pilot. Chief pilots, check ride examiners, check ride examiners, DPEs, all those are things that are just above and beyond. Being a pilot is perfect, but I mean, do we look at Mr. Julius and say, okay, he's just a pilot? No, we say, wow, he's a CEO, he's made this great organization. It's always aspiring to be more than just okay and just regular. I challenge yourself. I challenge you to always want to be more. Make a goal for yourself 20 years down the line. What do you want to be in life? And don't just have it to be a pilot, because right now you want to be a pilot, and that's awesome. All right? In life, you can either be the passenger or the pilot of the aircraft, but who they all look up to, the pilots. The last thing I have for this aircraft would be the horizontal stabilizer. The horizontal stabilizer, that represents time, okay? It only goes up. Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, some of the richest people in the world, you still have the same amount of time as they do. It's how you use that time when you get up and wake up every day. It's important that you understand that time will not stop for anything. My mother passed away when I was 15 years old, and when I tell you that was one of the hardest things, and now to be 22 years old, I've had to move on from it. I've had to learn that time does not stop for anyone or anything, and that's what you need to know going forward. Monetary value, it doesn't matter what you have in life. If you don't understand the value and the concept of time, it can really set you behind in life. You need to understand that when you go and you do your flight lessons, you need to come on time. You need to be more than on time. You need to be before the time your flight block's supposed to start for. Because if you're on time, then you're late. It's important. Time is a critical piece in this world, in this life, and it's important that you understand that time will only keep going, and either you're able to keep up with it or you're not. So I ask you to not waste your gifts on playing video games. Every time you play a video game, take a second to read a book as well. If you play the video game for an hour, take 10 minutes to read the PHAG. If you take 10 minutes or if you take an hour to go outside and play with your friends, take 10 more minutes to study something else. Because before you know it, you'll be in the same position I am. You'll be at the airlines, and it's either you know your stuff or you don't. Time, there's only so much of it. I have 910 hours now, and when I tell you I started off with 250 hours as a flight instructor, I can't believe I'm here right now with 910 hours. It's amazing, it's amazing. It happens quick. We do not get to decide our future. We decide our habits, and our habits decide our future. You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. Now, graduates, I actually make a promise with me, and the students, all the students really. I want you to repeat after me. Say, I promise to myself that I will not try to be the best me. I will be the best me in everything I do in life. And with that, congratulations, graduates, for making it this far. I hope you good luck. I wish you good luck on your journeys through college.